Hey y'all, what's going on? This is another edition of Playmakers. I appreciate everybody that's out there watching, all the Playmakers out there in YouTube land. This is your boy, Coach DJ Davis, and I am elated and I'm excited to have the one and only here in the studio with us tonight, Mr. Dr. Harrington Watson III. A lot of y'all out there know him as Trey, from Monroe, Louisiana, born and raised, and we have him in here tonight to tell us a little bit about what's going on his side of the world. Trey, glad to have you here tonight.
Good to see you, DJ. Good to see you, man.
Now, Trey, you are been involved in the school system for over 12 years.
Right.
Am I correct on that?
Right.
But we're excited to announce that you are now the principal, first-year principal at Robertson Elementary here in Monroe, Louisiana.
It's big.
Tell us a little bit about this first year. So just give us an idea of how things have been this first year.
First, man, like I said, it's an honor to be here. Thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Man, appreciate it, man. It's all good.
But being an alum of Robertson Elementary, that's where I went to school.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, my mom taught there over 30 years, so it's a big thing for me to come back and work at the school where I went to school.
Okay.
So now when I walk into my office, you know, my office is the office I used to come into when I was younger for doing some things that weren't so desirable. And now I'm sitting on the other side of that very same desk and being able to be put in a position where I can help so many kids that were just like us, you know, growing up.
Yeah.
You know, time and time again, we've always asked, you know, where are the guys, where are the leaders in the schools, where are the men, where are people that generally have a concern about helping our children. And I've been put in that position. It's just a blessing to be able to go to the same place where I went to school at and go in every day. So it helps with the creativity. People ask me about programs and different things we do at the school. Yeah. Well, it comes from the heart. It's easy when you're at home. You know, you think about if you're working at your school that you went to, man, you do this thing because you know what's needed.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely know what's needed. So that's why I'm always on the run trying to figure out whatever I can do to put Robertson in the forefront.
Well, you said you're glad to be here, man. We're really excited about having you here because I know how busy you are. I mean, I see a lot of stuff you're doing, a lot of the moves you're making, the impact. Man, this guy is making crazy moves. Matter of fact, one of the things that I was really interested in having him come in and talk about is you've created or you've started a program at your school, 100 Ram Men. Exactly. Tell us a little bit about that. For those out there, a lot of people know about it because you've made so many moves with it, but tell us a little bit about, you know, what started that, you know, how did you come up with it, and what's the overall goal for 100 Ram Men?
Okay. 100 Ram Men is an event that we do monthly. And it kind of spun off of something that I saw. I saw it on YouTube, matter of fact. I was watching videos and talking about school improvement, ways to gain community involvement. Yeah. And I saw this guy, he was doing some things in Baltimore, Maryland. I kept looking at it, I said, man, this guy has some good ideas. So I contacted him on Facebook. I contacted him on Facebook and said, hey, look, I'm in Monroe, Louisiana. I know it's not Baltimore, Maryland, but look, we have some of the same needs you have. What can I do? And he said, look, man, let's build together. That was his exact message. He said, let's build together. Wow. So he went ahead, and once I saw that, I said, look, the first thing he did, he brought the guys into the school. And he was trying to figure out ways to bring them into the school, but their thing was just to have a big meeting. So when I saw the meeting outside and I started looking at it, I said, man, we can do that at Robertson. So we started calling people. You know, I reached out to a lot of different folks and asked them, look, would you just come out to my school and greet my kids? And when they came out that morning, we had the video and everything, and it was big because it was like the kids running through a tunnel. You know, where it was over 200 men out there, and they were just all patting them on the back saying, congratulations, you can do a great job today. I believe in you. I want you to do well. And that meant a lot because if you look at, in my community, the community I grew up in, right now we have a lack of men in the community. So when they came out and we had kids, and it was so funny because a couple kids, they were scared when they saw those men outside. And you can imagine when you line up in front of the school,
they feel like
there were men lined up from the front, from the gate all the way around to the front of the school, and they were just standing there, just cheering for the guys, clapping for them. And what was big about it, some kids had never seen that many men in one place at one time. And that was the thing that was so big about it. So once we did that, we spun off into other things. We've done clothing drives, we've done toy drives, sock drives, and we're always pushing the envelope, trying to figure out new ways, different things that we can do to make the Ram Men bigger and bigger each month.
Well, that's major because, you know, like you say, a lot of the communities, I mean, you come from a community, I come from a community that we know where the issues are. And a lot of the issues stem from the lack of or the absence of a strong man.
Exactly.
You know, whether it's a stepdad or a real dad, the absence of a strong man sometimes causes a lot of other problems to take place. And so for you to see that, and then, I mean, even to reach out, and that's what's crazy about technology. I tell a lot of people, you know, you're not limited to anything now. With technology, I mean, like say 15, 20 years ago, you'd had to write a letter, send a letter out in the mail, hope it get there, hope he open it.
Yeah.
But now with technology, all you got to do now is click on a link, click on a name, inbox, DM, or whatever the case is, and then people can respond instantly.
Exactly. Information ready to go.
And big ups to the what would you remember his name? Big ups to him.
William Blake.
William Blake. Big ups to William Blake for sharing that information and like you say, wanting to build together.
Exactly.
Now one of the things that I want to bring light to is you've had the opportunity to read my book, and a lot of people have had a chance to read it. One of the things that I talk about in the book is obviously, we both are not only tied together through education, but we are tied together fraternally through Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Roo. But a lot of times we talk about seeing it through. Exactly. And when I was introduced to the fraternity and I was introduced to that concept, it made so much sense to me because a lot of things that I had did up to that point, if it wasn't for me just staying focused and just seeing it through, I don't know where I'd be right now. And so how has, your last, just say 12 years in education, we can even go further back in it. I mean, playing ball in high school and just coming up, how has being able to see it through help you to this point right now?
More or less just having the discipline to stick with something. A lot of times guys, they start out well. Everybody starts the race, they take off. But before you know it, by the time you start hitting some obstacles, some things along the way, people start kind of faltering. And they say, well, look, it isn't that important to me. It doesn't matter if I finish or not. But I think growing up and having a strong model, a real male role model in the house that told me, my dad was like, look, once you start something, you'll finish it. Even if you're playing ball, you may not be starting right now. But if you want to start one day, you have to work harder than the next man. That's right. And that same work ethic is what's driven me today. I won't let anybody outwork me.
I know that for certain.
When I accepted the job, I spoke to our superintendent and he called me. He said, well, Trey, this is what I expect from you. These are the things. And he says, I know the type of person you are and I know you're the right person for this job.
Oh man, that's great.
And I told him, I promise, I'm not going to let you down. And he knew that. And it was because of the types of things throughout my career. I've always seen different things. When I first started out teaching, I came into a classroom as a sub. I just wanted to be a substitute. I wanted to get my foot in the door. So I told the principal, look,
real for me.
Hire me as a sub. Just give me an opportunity. And if you let me get in, I'll show you what I can do. End of the year, I ended up being new teacher of the year. So that just kind of spawned the next step. And I said, well, let me go get certified. So I went to school and got certified. And then the next step after I got certified was to find another job. I moved back I was living in Baton Rouge. Moved back to Monroe. And said, look, I want to do this at home. If I'm going to do it, let me do it in my community. And the only people that gave me a chance at that time was Lincoln Elementary.
I know exactly where you're at.
They gave me a job, and I did that for a year. And once I got certified, I said, well, I met Dr. Murphy, Felicia Murphy. She was principal at Robinson. And she asked me, would I come work at the school? And that was like a dream come true. I had gone to school at Robinson, so it's like, look, give me that opportunity. And I went into Robinson that first year, worked hard, did a lot of good things. And after I saw so much going on, she made a statement one day in a faculty meeting, and she said something pretty much to the effect. She said, I know a lot of you believe you can do the job better than me. She said, so if you believe you can do the job better than me, go to school. And when I listened to her say that, and it wasn't a thing that I thought I was better than her, I just thought I could give so much to another school. And and my whole thing at that time was just hang around. I was teaching at Robinson. I said, she's a young lady. I figured, well, maybe I'll go get certified in a few years, maybe 5, 10 years once she moves on somewhere, I'll get an opportunity to be a principal. Well, it ended up, that summer, I ended up going and working with the alternative program over the summer. And a few people saw me and they said, well, look, you ought to apply for an assistant job. I applied for the assistant's job, got that assistant principal job at Richwood High. And after that, it just kind of snowballed from there. And here we are today being principal of my alma mater. And I promise, and they talk about having a plan. A lot of times you're just seeing things through, you working that plan. You see what you want to do, you have a goal in sight, and you say, this is where I want to be in X amount of years. And I always kept telling people, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. And my wife thought I was crazy. She was like, look, people don't move up in that type of time. You haven't even been teaching that long. But I taught just long enough to be certified, to go ahead and, to have had a job. So I was lucky. But once I got in, I never stopped working. I kept trying to prove myself everywhere I went. No matter where I was, when I was at Richwood, I always tried to step above what everybody else was doing. And then coming into Robinson now, it's almost second nature, and I have a great group great group of colleagues, man. My staff is outstanding. These are
Okay,
guys,
good.
you know,
You
I'm not
gotta
the
have
only
a good. You
person.
gotta have a good team.
Yeah, because I'm not, you know, you think about it. When I first came in, you know, I was a new principal. They were like, man, who is this hotshot guy coming in talking about doing all these different things? He's not like our old principal. You know,
Yeah.
what is it going to be? What, you know, how is he? Is he all flash and no substance? What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once they saw me and they saw the work ethic, they saw me hanging around, still staying and doing the work.
Right.
They caught on. So now it's a thing where I'm talking about what we want to do at the school. Before I can get in the building, my phone rings all night. They're sending me text messages. Hey, I saw this online. Let's try this.
Let's try it.
So it's different. It's so many different things. And if they see it on YouTube and they say, well, look, it's working at a school in Bethesda, Pennsylvania. Hey, let's try it in Monroe and see if it works here. So that's our thing. So we're always trying to push the envelope to get
Well, you said something that was profound when it comes to talking about seeing it through, and that is, did you hear him? I mean, you mean to tell me as a sub, you were rewarded or awarded
New teacher of the year.
New teacher of the year as a sub.
As a sub.
I mean, and that's rare because a lot of times, I mean, the sub is exactly what it is, a sub. They don't know if you're gonna be there this week, next week, but to come in and do that speaks volumes. And it ties into everything that you've done. I mean, I want to just personally be able to congratulate you on the successes, and I'm also, you know, wanting just to congratulate the people around you because, like you say, they have to buy into it.
Exactly.
Like I say, with the 100, you know, Ram Men, the things that you got going on at Robertson, and then other stuff we're doing in the community as well, is going to be big. What do you guys got going on? I mean, what do we, in the next couple of weeks from Ram Men? I mean, you know, this part of March, 1st of April, what do you guys got going on that we need to look forward to?
The very next thing we're doing, we're working on a community garden.
Okay.
That's the thing, it's part of our science initiative. We're going to have a setup where we have probably about 4 acres on the back of our campus. So my thing is to take that acreage and build it where you have an area carved out for each grade level. We'll do the community farm, and that's part of our total community beautification project. We have a lot of area around the school, and my thing is just to beautify it because if kids see a place that looks good, looks nice, they want to be a part of it.
They want to be there.
You know, right here, you look around the West Monroe community, and you see the things that are going on around West Monroe High, and people get excited about it. Because when I pass by, I'm a Ouachita alum, but I still have to admire what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know, my thing is at the end of the day, you have to give honor to where honor is due.
Oh, yeah.
So when they're doing good things and, you know, making sure the community is involved in what's going on at the school, that's big for me. So I've kind of modeled a lot of things. I look at Riser Middle, like I said, where you work.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, Riser ties in West Monroe to what they do. So we make sure at Robinson, we tie in Richwood High and Richwood Middle to what we do. We always invite the guys out to the school. Yeah, we make sure the link is done in the community because eventually these guys will be Rams one day.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we want to make sure at this point that they already have this indoctrinated in them where they start thinking about this. They're already looking, you know, 5, 6 years down the line. I can't wait to put on the red and white and be a part of that community.
Yeah.
So those are the things. But the community garden is next. We'll also have another Ram Mini event coming up in April, and this is going to be one of the biggest ones we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to invite everybody out again. We want guys, because it's right before testing.
Okay.
We want to encourage the kids to be excited about testing, let them know that they have the whole community behind them.
Good.
And I'm starting to push that. You know, in the next couple of weeks, I'll start rolling out the campaign to make sure as many people as possible are involved in it. And with the support of you, I know we'll be able to do some great things.
Man. We're gonna do whatever we got to do to make sure that the word gets out. You know, we'll link you up. Matter of fact, for those of you who may not be following him, why don't you tell us, like, you know, how can we follow you? Websites, email, whatever information you want to give out, so we can stay linked up with what you're doing, and also 100 Ram Men.
You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. It's all Harrington Watson III on Facebook, Instagram. Dr. HW3 on Snapchat. I have a lot of, like I said, Twitter, Harrington W the third. So we have a lot of different ways to stay in contact with me. I post things daily. I try to always put something out there just to let people know what's going on in my school. And we're trying to make the community aware of things because a lot of times great things can be happening, but if no one knows about it, it's like it's not happening at all. So we try to make sure that they're finding out about it on a daily basis.
Good deal.
So those are my things. And also an email, you can catch me at hwatson3@gmail.com.
All right, now you heard it first here on Playmakers. For those of you out there that wants to tie in and you want to be a part of what's going on with 100 Ram Men, I suggest that you follow Trey, follow him. If you have any questions, you can always get in contact with us at justruntheplay.com. And you can get in contact with Coach DJ, and we will make sure that any information you need to tie into what this guy's doing, tie into what Robertson's doing, and really see that these young men are very, very, very blessed to be able to have somebody like Dr. Watson helping them be the young men they're supposed to be. Look, once again, it's Playmakers. We were glad you were able to join us. Trey, man, once again, man, we appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. Stay tuned. We'll be back.